Hi there, it's Ben here from Bright Network, and this video is all about creating kind of your perfect CV and how the layout should be structured. I've done this talk before a few times, but what I want to do is put it on video so everyone can have access to the advice, make sure that all your CVs are looking great. What we're going to be covering is kind of how to do sort of a one-page CV. The reason one page is that if you're in first and second year, you want to be keeping your ideas nice and concise and just putting a snapshot of what you're really like. And also in some industries like maybe law, banking, consulting, some firms ask for a one-page CV, so it's good to know exactly how to do one. So, okay, I'm going to go through the ideal layout now. So it goes right at the top, imagine your CV in front of you, and there is a CV template that we do have online. So if you kind of miss anything, get any stuck in anywhere, make sure that you check it out. I'll put a link to it next to the video. So you've got at the top, the title, your name, no need to put CV or anything like that, just your name nice and big. And then you need 3 key bits of information. So you need your email address, your telephone number, and your address right at the top there. Just going across, don't want to take up too much space by it. If they're really impressed by you, they'll find all the contact information. And then a lot of people link to their LinkedIn as well, their LinkedIn profile. And if you've got one that has lots of good stuff on there, you kind of expand on the stuff that you have gone into, I would definitely consider putting a link in there. Most people look at the CVs digitally. So it's really good to kind of have a link there if they want to find out a bit more about you, what you've liked on LinkedIn, who you connected with, everything like that, and what firms you're kind of following. It's a really good thing to do. So that's kind of the top bit, and then you move down. A lot of people have a what I call a personal profile or an introduction on their CV, and usually this is a couple of lines, maybe something like, I am a hardworking individual with a passion for this and studying at this university, looking for more experience. Really think about whether that is kind of worthwhile, whether it enhances your CV, because you're about to talk about your education. You've probably got cover letter or application questions which do talk in more detail about your passion for certain things, and you're also about to talk about your experience. So if I was you, especially for a one-page CV, I would leave that off and I'd go straight into the education. If you are going to keep it in though, keep it nice and short, a couple of sentences, absolutely maximum. So then education, very simple. You want to go in reverse chronological order. Start with the university that you're currently at or just graduated from. So the nice title is your university, UCL, Oxford, whatever it is, and also your degree. And so that should be going kind of across the page, and then on the right hand side, the dates. So when you started, and also don't just put -present. Make sure you tell them when you're graduating, because if they're thinking about internships, first year programs, they do that based on your graduation year, so make sure you do leave that in. If you're past your kind of like first semester at university, make sure that you put in sort of a predicted grade or something like that. Try and keep it a kind of a 2-1 or a first. And yeah, as I say, that's all you really need to put. If you're going to something very specific and your university degree is along those sort of lines, so you're going to law and you're doing law modules in your law degree, it might be worth putting in some modules. But if you're doing history and you're doing, I don't know, Henry VIII or something like that, if you're applying to a bank or something like that, they probably don't need to know about it, so keep it nice and short. Then when it comes to the school, again, the title is your school, the dates you attended, and then A-levels or equivalent, just write them across the page. So you've got maybe 3 or 4 subjects across the page, in brackets your grades. I'm sure they're going to be excellent. Going to top universities, I'm sure they're going to be excellent grades. And then the next line, GCSEs, especially if you went to the kind of same school. If not, put your other school there. If not, for GCSEs, then just write maybe 10, 11 GCSEs, A star to A, A star to B, whatever it might be. And the usually accepted thing is to do including English and mathematics, kind of 2 standard ones. But you don't need to spell out every single GCSE that you did just there. Then moving on, and this is kind of, as I say, you want to keep your education quite short, because this is kind of the key part, is your work experience, and the rest of the CV is kind of the key stuff that's going to make you really stand out. Your academics, a load of people have got great academics, but it's your work experience, your extracurricular, which really gives an insight into what you are like. So how I do it, again, very simple format, keep the formatting quite similar, kind of name of the organisation, the role as the kind of title of your experience, again in reverse chronological order, so the one you did most recently, the one you're doing right now at the top, moving down. And again, dates that you did it on the right hand side. Always keep it in kind of the same order you've done your education and all the way down your CV. And for each bit of experience, you really need to think about three things: what you did, what you learnt, and how you had an impact. So you want to put this into 3 or 4 bullet points. I know that might be tough. You might have lots of bullet points if you're looking at your CV right now, but yeah, you want to put it into sort of those kind of 3 concise bullet points. And really with each bullet point kind of say exactly kind of how you sort of had that impact. I know if you've maybe done an insight day or a spring week or something like that, it's quite difficult to have an impact at a huge company, but especially at work that's, you know, smaller businesses, or you worked in a shop or anything like that, it's really good to sort of show you how you had that impact. So kind of give you an example, you know, kind of what you did is quite self-explanatory, you know, presented to people in the business about a certain topic, or worked on a shop floor, or checked documents to be sent out to clients, whatever it might be. But what you want to be is really specific. So, you know, talking about, did you run an event for 100 people? Did you have a sales day where you were the best salesperson on the shop floor? Whatever it might be, you really want to be specific, and also showing that you had that impact. So as I say, you know, like percentage increase, lots of figures in there is really good to show. It shouldn't just be sort of 3 bullet points that's sort of saying, I did this, did that, did this, because that really is kind of what they'd expect you to do in the role. They actually want to show that you developed and also had a really strong impact. So as I said, with the reverse chronological order, sometimes you can put experience. You can have experience at the top, which is kind of maybe sort of like shop work or bar work or whatever it might be. That is essential to put in, and all companies from whatever sector like to see you've gone out there, you've earned money and built up experience. However, if you were all the way down your CV because you did it a couple of years ago, you got something really relevant to the industry that you're going into, it might be worth getting a bit clever on how you kind of order the CV. So it might be worth having sort of a section saying relevant work experience, and then you list your sort of stuff, whether it's like spring weeks in banking, for instance, and list those at the top, and then other work experience as well, because you really want to be driving the good stuff that you've done, which is very relevant to the top. The best stuff should be at the top. And as I said before, definitely do keep in all of your work experience and stuff like that. But on work experience which isn't directly related, make sure that you're showing the transferable skills which will apply to the business you're applying to. So have a little look at the job descriptions, the company's website, look at what kind of like values, what kind of skills they're looking for in their graduates, and make sure that you're using that kind of same terminology in your CV in that kind of those sort of moments. And yeah, as I say, keep everyone quite concise and be quite concise and ruthless about how many bullet points you were using, or what experience. If you've only got 1 bullet point on your banking role that you did, applying for a banking job, and you've got 4 on the shop work, that's probably a bit of an imbalance. So make sure you're kind of looking at that. So moving on, there's kind of the section is the extracurricular, or what I like to call the positions of responsibility. And this is the stuff that you haven't done in academia, the stuff you haven't done in actual work experience, but it's where you've kind of got involved in positions of leadership, you've got involved in stuff, led projects, whatever it might be. So an example of this is becoming maybe a prefect at school, or doing society work, going on the committee of a society, running events at school, university, being captain of sports teams, being treasurer of a sports team, whatever it might be. But it's times where you've actually stepped up, you might have got elected to it or chosen to do something, and you've kind of delivered really strong, excellent results in that position. So as I say, as I was talking about earlier, that kind of how you had an impact, this is the real good place to do it. Because if you think about maybe a society, it's a small entity, it's like kind of running your own little mini business and delivering for your members. So, you know, did you run an event which was for 100 people? Was it, you know, 20% more than you got at the previous year's event, or did you boost membership of your society by X percentage? How much reach did you achieve on social media? That sort of thing. This is the stuff you want to know about, that you didn't just show up and just get a position. You actually you actually got involved, got stuck in, and had a really, really good impact. So again, in the same sort of layout, maybe again the title of what you did, the organisation or the society, and then a couple of bullet points, I'd say, really highlighting how great you did in that role and very specific to what you did. Moving down, there's kind of like a skills and awards bit. I think about skills is that you should be incorporating your skills into kind of your work experience, your extracurricular, because that almost kind of proves that you develop that skill. You shouldn't be listing out sort of the skills you've got, like analytical, that sort of stuff. You should be proving it once within your work experience. But the skills section is mainly used for maybe languages or IT skills, whatever that sort of thing, whatever you've kind of picked up, or kind of qualifications that you might have picked up as well. Everyone's proficient, or everyone should be proficient at Excel, Microsoft Word, and companies are going to expect that. There's no need to put that. But if you've got coding experience, or you've got languages, spoken languages, definitely include them in the skills. And when it does come to awards, if you do have them, definitely put them in, whether they're academic, whether they're stuff that you've done outside of university or school. Make sure you're absolutely putting them in. Really good to show that you've kind of excelled at something, because they want businesses want employees that really excel. If you don't have awards, don't worry about it. Move straight on to the interest section, and this is the last section. A lot of people go to me as like, oh, firms don't care about interests and stuff like that. It's, I should be filling it with lots of experience and education. Absolutely have an interest section. It doesn't need to be more than sort of 2 or 3 bullet points, but it shows you've kind of got a little bit more to you. You've got stuff that you enjoy outside of whatever you've done in societies or academia or your work experience. You've got to think that the people interviewing you might be your managers, might be your colleagues, and they want to kind of really know that they can kind of work with you, and you are going to be kind of at times where it's a bit quieter, for instance. You're going to be a good person to have in the office, and a well-rounded kind of human being. So yeah, as I say, if it's sports, if it's music, if it's theatre, whatever you've done, mention it, and have a quick look at what you've done over the years, and see what might be relevant. If you've picked up awards in it, or represented high level of sport, whatever it might be, that's fantastic. If you haven't and you just get involved as kind of as a real hobby, that's great too. So I hope that's helped. That's kind of my ideal sort of layout for that one-page CV, to really show everything that you have done, and be really concise and really kind of stand out to kind of leading employers. If you have any questions, or you have any thoughts or anything, do get in touch with our membership services team. It's help@brightnetwork.co.uk. Plus there is a huge section on the website, including the CV templates, which I alluded to earlier, which I spoke about earlier. On the CV section, just go to the website, Graduate Career Advice, and then on the drop down it's CV Advice. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Cheers now, bye.